Hey everyone, it's Lisa the Whimsical Gardener. In today's video, I want us to do some prep for fall. So it's going to rain for the next couple of days, and it's the perfect time for me to seed some marigolds in anticipation for fall coming up. So I went to the store and I just got some basic marigold, nothing too fancy on here. And I'm going to go around the yard and see where I have gaps, and I'm going to seed some marigolds, and hopefully in a couple of days they'll come up and grow up in time for fall. This is a great way for you to add some color in your garden for fall with not spending a lot of money. And again, I just literally went to the box stores and I got some marigold. This one here is my favorite. This is the French dwarf marigold. And so I'm just going to go around and seed some marigolds. Hopefully you can learn something from this. Maybe try to do this as well, and to extend the life of your fall garden. Would love if you can please comment, subscribe to this channel as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to start in the front of the house first, and then just kind of work my way around around the yard. All right, so this is the entry to our walkway leading up to the front door, and it's actually starting to rain, which is perfect timing because I'm seeding this. I wouldn't have to go around and water it. So I'm going to use this container, and I'm going to try to flank this one with the one opposite it as well. And so what I'm looking for is I'm going to do some dwarf marigolds because I want it to kind of trail down here. So let's go ahead and seed them. So these marigolds you plant about 1/4 of an inch deep. And what I'm going to do is just do like a little bit of a handful. This is what the seeds look like for marigolds. So I'm just going to go ahead and plant a couple. Now I'm going to do it, seeding it a little bit heavy, but I can also thin it out if I need to. And what I'm envisioning is that by the time these get big, this will be done blooming, or this will trail over. This is an evergreen for me. This rose will be dead by then. It'll just be sticks. So the marigold will just kind of come through this area. So this pot that I have here is more on the taller end, and it's towards the back of my walkway. So I'm thinking of doing some taller marigolds, which I can probably use some stake to hold them up. So when you look from the front, you'll see the taller. So there's going to be like a progression of tall to short in front. And I think for that one, I'm going to do the berry best mix. So I'm going to do that one. And again, I love this idea because again, you don't have to spend a lot of money to extend the season for you in the fall. Again, I'm going to seed a little bit heavy on here, and I can thin if I need to. And the nice thing is if a lot of them germinate, I can just transplant them to somewhere else in the yard. Alright, so I think I'm good with that one. Let me scan my front and see what else I have available. I'm trying to clean up as I go through here. So I think I spot somewhere else, so let's walk over there. So what I'm thinking is when you walk into our driveway, you have that pot there that will have some marigolds, this one over here, and spanning. I'm looking here probably needs some color. So I have this pot. So I'm going to try to plant some marigolds in there. And for this one, I'm going to probably go back to the dwarf marigold. You know what? No, I'll do something else. I'll do the French double. I will have a variation of marigolds. Marigolds are one of the most underrated plants in my opinion. Sometimes there's a little bit of a negative stigma against it, but I absolutely love marigolds. The front of by the mailbox, and I did went ahead and prune my my supertunias. This one over here didn't do so well, so I pulled it out. But I'm gonna go ahead and seed some seeds here, but I think I need to top this off with some dirt first. So let me go grab some dirt and I'll be right back. So what I'm about to do is gonna make some people super upset, because in order for my marigolds to grow here, I am gonna have to make some space. So I'm gonna take out the supertunia. They're not doing so well either, so I'm just gonna pull them out. Sorry guys, I know this is hurting a lot of you guys' feelings. So I always have my handy dandy hori knife and my snipper. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna snip a couple of these here. They're looking a little bit raggedy. That way my marigolds will have a chance to grow on. And then I need a little bit of a stake to put this back a little bit this way, so tie this up. So I need to go back and grab that too. I think the next thing I want to do is let me go grab a bamboo stake or something like that to move this back this way and give it a little bit of support, and then we'll be able to seed our plants. Found my stake and my tie, so let's go tie these fountain grass up. Brought you in a little bit closer so I can show you what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this stake at the back of the fountain grass, and I don't have anything else that could mask this color, but I'm just going to use this for now. And then I'm just gently pulling it back and tying it back here. That way when I seed the marigolds, they'll have sunlight and they'll be able to get enough sunlight and space to grow and so forth. So you have to imagine the marigolds here and the fountain grass on top. I think I could pull it back a tad bit more. Alright, so now what I need to do is just fill this area up here with some dirt. So I just got some potting soil. I'm just going to go ahead and fill that up with some potting soil. If anybody can figure out why the soil always depletes itself, where is it going? If you can figure that out, let me know please. Alright, so I think I need to do a little bit of trimming on this side here. Again, don't be alarmed, these things will bounce back. This is my Angelonia. And then I think I need to trim a little bit up here to give more light to my marigolds when they germinate. Alright, I think that should be good, right? Yeah. So now I can go ahead and seed. So what worked out to be, just seeding something, ended up to be a full-blown project, guys. And look at this. Weeds. How can I could never get rid of weeds. Alright, so now I could go plant. And it's gonna rain today, so I'm not gonna have to water or anything, but you know what, I think to be on the safe side, I may just water it just to be on the safe side. So let's do this other side here. Seed packet says to plant the seed 1/4 inches tall. So thinking that I want to seed some marigolds up here, because this will become evergreen. This I will dig up and store for the winter time in the greenhouse. This I'm okay with it just being as is, but I'm thinking I could plant some marigolds in here, so I'm going to seed some of that too as well. Wouldn't it be nice if you have marigolds there and some up here? And this pittosporum will be evergreen for me. So let me go ahead and seed some marigolds there. This one here, I'm going to go ahead and seed some as well in the caladium pot. But I know I'm going to damage some roots while I'm pulling it out, because by nature I might damage some marigold thing. But I'm thinking if I plant them all pretty heavily, that if I kill one or two, I'll be fine. Alright, so imagine marigolds. Now you can't even see what the whole thing. Hold on, guys. Alright, so now imagine some marigolds up on top and then in the two sides there with the fountain grass. I typically leave the fountain grass up until I do like a greenery for like the winter season. And I think that really gives it a nice look. So on to the next area of the yard, which I'm thinking I want to go do the stone step garden bed area, because I think that's, you can see that more in front. So I think we're going to go and do that area now. So this is the bed that we just did a makeover a couple of weeks ago. We took out the feverfew, and then we planted some echinacea here. We did some salvias that we had on sale, some more echinacea. We did a baptisia that's there as well. Everything is growing in well. So what I'm thinking about doing is I want to take some dwarf marigolds and just sprinkle in the seeds where I see some gaps, because you have to imagine the echinacea by November so will be done. And marigolds in our area can withstand like the first frost, so we'll get some colors all the way up until end of November sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and sprinkle some, plant some seeds. I don't know why I say sprinkle. I don't sprinkle it, I plant the seeds. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this Veronica is filled with bees. Beautiful honeybees. I think I see 1, 2, 3. There's 3 of them already in there. And what I'm doing is when I'm putting the seeds, I am trying to put them at the base of an emitter so they can get water. And what I'm thinking about is maybe sowing some of these seeds in containers, so that when the other things die off in a couple of weeks or so, I can move them from that container to the pot or to wherever area has a gap on there. So I'm gonna go get some containers to sow some seeds in. That way I can have them ready, and then as the fall season progresses, I can just pop them in different areas. Let me go grab my containers. You know, I'm a gardener. We always have a lot of extra containers. So let me go grab some. I got some potting soil there, and we'll just have a little bit of a seed sowing session. So I'll be right back. By the way, can we enjoy the view here? Amazing, just amazing. Alright, got my containers and everything, so let me set up and then we'll start seeding these marigolds. Alright, I think this will work for now. So I've got my containers. I got a tray that I can put them in there, and what I'm going to do is, these will need some good light to germinate, so I'm thinking of putting them in the front where I have all the rest of my stash of plants, and that way when I water my pots up there, I'll be able to water them as well. So let's go ahead and fill my containers up first, and then we will seed from there. So all I'm doing is I'm just using some potting soil. Move this over here. I'm just doing some potting soil. Now I have a potting plant area. Do I use it? No. This is just nice. I'm just liking it here. So I'm like, I'll just do it here. Alright, so use my gloves. I like to protect my nails. I just had my nails done, so I don't want to damage it. Sorry guys. Sounds weird. So I usually like to use these medical grade gloves, again, which I get from Amazon, and I like them because they're thin enough where I can kind of feel what I'm doing. The other garden gloves are too thick, you can't really feel what exactly you're doing. So I'm gonna sew these up. Alright, I got my first tray filled, so let me bring you guys in a little bit closer and we'll go ahead and get started with seeding them. Now what I realize is I need to label these because I need to know which ones are tall versus which ones are dwarf. So let me do the dwarf ones first. Dwarf, berries, dwarf. Oh, it doesn't have anything in it. Oh, I don't really have a lot of seeds left, guys. Huh. Does that mean I need to go back to the store? Maybe not. Alright, so I'm a little bit closer. So I'm going to go ahead and seed the Fairy Best Mix one. So this is a tall variety. And I don't have a label right now, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the packet right behind here so I know which one is which. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to space these out a little bit, knowing that when I'm ready to plant, I can break them apart. So I'm just like doing like 4 little holes right there. And that way I can drop the seeds in there and it'll be a little bit easier for me to separate when I'm ready to transplant these. And I think what I'm going to do is drop 2 seeds in each hole. Now what I like marigolds for is the seeds are fairly easy to grab onto. Some of the other ones, man, they're like dust. Go ahead and water these in. Doing the same exact thing again on this side. Which I just realized I saved some seeds from last year that I do have indoors, so I might just use those as well. Totally forgot I did that. I crumbled the pack only to realize that I said I was going to use this as a marker. Oh, Lisa. Alrighty, so let's stick this in here and now I'll know which one I have. So let's move on to the other container. Alright, back to filling up our containers. And something I just realized, looking at all the plants that I have, everything that you put into the garden, at the end of the season you have to cut them back or remove them. Fun fact, which means a lot of work at the end of the season as well. But I love doing that because it's exercise. I look at it as exercise. See, a little bit of wisdom there for you. Alright, so I'm done. I'm gonna go ahead and seed my marigold now. As I just realized my neighbors are out. They probably think, who's this weird lady talking to a camera? So weird. I do the same exact thing. I'm gonna try to separate them out. luckily my neighbors do know that I do YouTube, so I don't think they think I'm crazy anymore. So I would love to hear in the comment section, what do you guys have? What's your plans for fall? Any fall planting? Are you guys doing any veggies? This year I'm not going to do, well, I think I'm not going to do any sowing of any seeds for fall. Thinking of just planting maybe some cabbage, and I usually get those very inexpensively from my favorite nursery, Busy Bee. And usually I'll grow them on during the winter time. But what I'm thinking is I want to experiment with, can I plant potatoes now and have them be ready for harvest like around December, because the garden has some space and I'm wondering if I can do that, because we do have a long growing season, and so I'm wondering if I can do that. I think I want to experiment and see, because this is middle of August right now, and if I plant them now, they'll germinate by first part of September, and I'll have a good 2-3 months before I can harvest them. We'll see. Thinking about experimenting. The nice thing is this project cost me about maybe $10 worth of seeds, and you'll see all of the yield that you get from it. Just a little bit of pre-planting that's needed. So another method that I found with sowing seeds, if you don't want to do the holes like how I'm doing there, you can just not fill the soil all the way on top to the rim, and then just take some potting soil and sprinkle it on top. So let me demonstrate. So I'm taking out some of the soil on top here, all right, and then I'm going to sprinkle the seeds, and then I'll put the soil back on top. I like to call that the lazy method. And I take the soil back like this. See, super easy. And this is nice to do with things like if you're seeds that can be separated easily. I like doing that method as well too. Alright, I'm done with my seeds. I'm gonna put my label, and then I'm going to put them at the front of the house where I water the rest of my plants, and then I'll be able to see them using my tag, aka the packet. Let's go put these up there, and we'll check them the next couple of days. They should germinate in about 7 days or so. Marigolds are fairly easy to germinate, so let me go put those. So I'm gonna store them here, right in front here. They'll have enough sun to germinate as well, and then they'll be in my area where I can water the plants too as well. Hi everyone, I think that's it for my marigold project for today. I hope you all enjoy and learn something and see how you can, a little bit of pre-planning and just going to the store and grabbing some inexpensive marigold seed. You can expand your growing season in the fall. Would love if you can like, subscribe to this channel, comment as well. Until next time, happy gardening.